Hi, yogis. Welcome. As you arrive today, Sunday, let's see, July 19th, I am up and good morning, Janine. Nice to have you. Please, if you're around and you can check in, it always feels good to me to know that a couple of you are out there taking this class now or later. And it's a beautiful Sunday, very warm. So we're going to again take a kind of mellow class, not getting too warmed up in the sense of building heat, and just take some nice stretches and movements and some classical poses today. So as you get settled, find your seat. I have two blocks with me today. If you'd like, add a blanket or two, sitting up on that blanket, kind of lifting the pelvis, creating a nice sort of natural curvature of the spine. Really helpful, creating more space into the hips, and find your seat. So I'm going to sit a little closer just to start. And let's see, I just want to make sure my volume is up as I'm in a new space. Good morning, Pam. Nice to have you. And today we're going to start with this breath called Nadi Shand. I always pronounce it wrong, Shodhana. Alternate nostril breathing. And such a wonderful breath. The nadi of this um, Sanskrit pronunciation meaning channel, and also the Shandana, the kind of cleansing or purifying. So we get that opportunity through different practices to tap into different parts, especially through the pranayama. And today, this breath, this alternate nostril breathing, really being about creating a nice channel of energy, freeing ourselves a little bit with that. So, as we begin, just find that seat. Really important that we sit up and we kind of just establish some comfort, but also so that we can open up the heart space and also open up for breath, right? So, and as you find that seat, this breath is about moving through the alternate sides of the nostril. And a nice way to start, first, I want you to take that left hand and you're going to place it down onto your left knee and just let that hand turn up today as a receiving, but also let that thumb really relax. So really allowing the thumb and the palm and the fingertips to relax. And then we're going to come and take the index finger and maybe that pinky finger, and we're going to bring it onto the left side of our nose. And then we're going to take the thumb, and there's just up at the crease. We're not pushing down or anything. And place that onto the right side, and then we're going to bring the index finger and middle finger maybe onto that third eye space, and just kind of settle there, sit a little taller, and let yourself relax. And then from here, we're going to just take a nice inhale, and then exhale softly out through the mouth. And again, just a breath like that, that inhale, and then exhale out through the mouth. From here, we're going to take an inhale through that right nostril, closing off the left as you inhale. Close off that right and exhale out through the left. Inhale through the left nostril. And softly closing it off as you exhale out through the right. Inhale right. And close it off as you exhale out through the left. In this first couple of rounds, inhale left, exhale right. Just get settled. See if you can relax into it and just let that body naturally find this rhythm. Inhaling right, opening up left as you exhale. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale right, exhale left. And just on your own, a few rounds. And see if you can really relax into this breath. Natural rhythm, not forceful, just cleansing. Becoming familiar with the rhythm. The brain relaxes. And this nice channel of energy listen to the breath to focus you. Beautiful, just stay with it. And the next time you find that breath, that exhale breath out through the right nostril, just let the right hand come down as well. And just continue that breath in and out through the nose. And coming into that pranayama of Samavriti pranayama, that equal breath, that balanced breath. As we search for balance in our breath, balance in our bodies. And just listen to the breath as well. Just finding as you settle endlessly into your body, allowing that mind to move into that heart space. Good, one more round here. Beautiful, and then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, palms together. And just feel this breath running in and out of your body. And just listen as we take a nice inhale together and exhale for Om. And just feeling that vibration of Om staying in your body, and see if you can throughout your practice find that peaceful inner voice that you might have felt in that Om, right? And from here, begin to take these arms. We're going to sweep them up to the sky, reaching nice and long. And then we're going to turn the palms down. Exhale, we're going to brush the walls or the sky, and the fingertips come down. We're going to bring the fingertips behind us. I'm going to just sit back a little bit behind us as we open up that heart space, yeah? So lift the chest and expand into it. Feel shoulders melting down the back of the body. There's this beautiful heart space that opens up. Take another breath. Love it. Now bring the gaze back out in front, and then just dip the chin, keeping the fingertips slightly behind you. And just feel that beautiful space up the back of the neck as you bow your head down towards your heart. Take another breath here. Love it. And then begin to just lift this head up. We're going to walk this right hand out to the side. Take this left hand, reach it up and over. Coming into this nice classic side stretch, this seated side stretch. Just feel that nice breath running all along the left side of the body. Take the gaze up, if it feels okay, up towards that inner elbow, that bicep. And just breathe. Shoulder melts away from the ears. And that belly lifts in and up. Take another breath. And again. One more. Just feel the breath in your body. Listen to it. Let it be audible. And then we're going to come back up. This top arm, this left arm begins to reach to the sky, and then bring it back down to the earth, bringing the belly in and up. And then sweep that right arm up and over, coming into the other direction. Yeah, and maybe walk the fingertips out a little bit. Just feel that nice, juicy side stretch. Maybe you take that gaze up towards the elbow, relax that bottom shoulder, and find the breath. Listen to the breath. One more breath. Love it. And then from here, that top arm, that right arm begins to sweep back down. Fingertips again, a little bit behind us, long spine. Take an inhale, lift the chest again. And then from here, exhale, bring the hands out in front and walk out a little bit. So this is, again, all levels. So I'm going to teach that sort of more moderate level. You can always go a little deeper. Hands might come onto the block. Forearms might come onto the block. And you might just let that head release. Yeah, and let that lower back, that sacrum area release as well. And just breathe here. It's all connected through the back of the spine. So we soften that sacrum, let the neck go, and breathe up and down that spine. And again, you might take the hands a little bit further out, reaching longer into this and getting a little bit more of that energized stretch of the spine. Up to you. 2 more breaths. Breathe into the back of the body, the shoulder blades. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to just take a look down and see which leg of yours is in front. I have my right leg in front. And then walk over to the opposite direction. So right leg, you walk to the left, left leg, you walk to the right, and you're going to just breathe into the opposite side of the body. Taking it there deeply, just take your breath. Head can relax. And just notice that leg that's in front, you're walking the opposite direction. So there's a nice hip stretch there. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 1. And then slowly draw the navel in. You're going to walk back to center, out in front. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail, and just slowly walk back up. Ooh, should feel nice. And we're going to just take these legs, give them a little switch, bringing the opposite leg in front, reestablishing that seat, Sukhasana. And again, you can be up on a blanket. And just take your breath. And from here, sweep the arms up to the sky. Get that nice big inhale. Stay for the exhale. And take another inhale. And then begin to brush out the fingertips reaching long, getting space into those shoulders, and then fingertips come behind you a little bit, yeah? And you're lifting up onto the fingertips as you open up that heart again. Remember, we opened it up for breath. Here we open it up for breath and to bring in love. Take another breath. Beautiful. Let the chin dip this time, staying lifted up onto the fingertips, breathing into the back of the neck. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Love it. Now, from here, we're going to take that right hand, we're going to walk it out to the side just a little bit, so not as far. And we're going to take this left arm, reach it up to the sky. And then we're going to take it across to that right knee. We're going to take a nice inhale. And then exhale, we're going to come into the twist. Then that right hand slides back and we open up that chest. Yeah? Twisting to the right, belly button, ribs, chest, and shoulders. Shoulders melt away from the ears. Gaze softly over that right shoulder and breathe here. Revisit that breath. Find that inner voice. Let it be kind. Remember that Om that we took. Finding that kind of nice space, that nice rhythm, that softness. Beautiful. 1 more breath. And then slowly, we're going to come back through, but the arms again, they're going to reach behind us. We're going to just take an inhale to sit tall. And then we're going to take that left hand a little bit out to the side, not too much, just to get that nice length into the right side. As you reach that arm, lift the belly. And then cross that right hand over to that knee, that left knee, and then left hand comes behind. Grow long, drawing that spine long. And then exhale to take the twist. Navel, ribs, chest, shoulders, and then that gaze. And just pause. Find that kindness, that inner voice, that Om vibration. One more breath here. Beautiful. And then coming back through, fingertips again, a little bit behind us. Open up this chest again. But then bring the hands down in front. Maybe you slide that block back in and bring the forearms down, staying a little higher. Pretty good stretch for me right here. I have the opposite leg in front. This is my tighter hip, so being a little higher is really appropriate and sweet and kind to myself. Up to you if you want to walk out further. And let the head go. And as you let the head go, let that sacrum area, that lower back, that base of the spine area, let it relax as well. All connected and just taking your breath here. One more breath. Love it. And then from here, we're going to take that walk. So if you're Left knee is in front, you're gonna walk to the right. If your right leg is in front, you're gonna walk to the left. So just taking that journey up to you. And just notice how that takes the stretch a little bit deeper into that hip, maybe along the rib cage, up into the shoulders. Up to you how deeply you take it. Can you practice that kindness, right? That sweetness to yourself. One more breath. I know it's a lot today, but again, finding a little bit more of these holding poses, not locking into them versus building a lot of heat. We already have some heat inside of us from the weather. Walk back to center. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail, but lift the pelvic floor and roll up. Ooh, nicely done. And then from here, we're gonna move onto our hands and knees. So as we travel, knees come underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. And I just want you to rock the hips a little bit, just however you like, just kind of loosening up from all that seated movement, right? Those seated positions. Good. And then from here, we're gonna come into cow pose. So shoulders over the wrists a little bit, cupping the fingertips. Curl the toes under if you like, and lift the chest, lift the tail. Heart goes forward again. We keep opening up that heart today. Take your breath there and just stay with it. There's a lifting of the pelvic floor. We're not collapsing and just kind of dropping the belly. We're still staying energized into the front of the body and feeling the muscles up the back of the body. Take a nice inhale. And then very slowly from that deep back bend, we're going to kind of take that spine to the sky, hollowing out the belly, tucking the chin, breathing into the shoulder blades. And pause there, maybe a little bit of movement. Beautiful, one more breath. Find the exhale, reach to the sky. And then inhale, reach back to that cow. If you like, just keep these toes curled under. And again, exhale back into that cat. Inhale to that cow, you got this. And exhale, hollow out to that cat. We're gonna inhale, come back now, neutral spine, and we're gonna shift forward. Walk the hands forward a little bit, and then take the shoulders over the wrists. Nice long spine, belly draws in, and just open up those collarbones a little bit so that shoulders aren't tight to the ears, but you're kind of spreading right and left. Good, now release the toes. And then from here, take a nice inhale. And with the exhale, just dip the hips a little bit. So you're kind of coming into that knee down upward dog, but make it about you. Heart goes forward, shoulders melt. Don't go too deep. We don't want pain into the lower back. Think about this as a heart opener. Take another breath. Find that next inhale when it comes. And with the exhale, kind of roll down the front of the body, bending the elbows behind you. Should feel nice to lower. And then from here, palms underneath the shoulders, elbows close to the body. We're gonna lift to that cobra, Bhujangasana. Heart goes forward again. Exhale, release. Inhale again, Bhujangasana, cobra. Let the toes relax and push down into the earth, and exhale to release. Inhale again to that cobra, heart lifts and peels off the earth. Exhale back, tabletop, hands and knees. Hands come a little bit back, not too much, because we're gonna curl these toes under and lift to a downward dog. And in this dog, if you like, slide blocks underneath the hands. I'm gonna just show you. It's a really lovely shape to take with blocks, getting a little bit more length into the spine, into the space, into the hips. Especially if you're tight into the back of the body, so you can use those blocks. And if downward dog, if it's too much today, then bring your knees down and slide into child or a puppy dog pose. From here, just pause into wherever you are. Be present with the breath. That samavriti, that even breath. Let it flow for 3. Let it flow for 2. And let it flow for 1. Exhaling down into the heels. Beautiful. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the knees down into the earth. Toes are curled under again. Inhale to that cow. Beautiful. Keep the toes curled under, sit back into the heels. So I love doing this, that nice energy and activity into the feet. You can go really deep. Really, this is about your knees and your toes. So if it's too much on either of those, manage it. You can also maybe sit up and get a little bit more depth there. So again, wherever you are, just take your breath. Sitting up, you might feel a little bit more of that heart lifting today, that sweet voice that you might have dropped into with your early Om. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk these hands back out. And we're going to come to a downward dog as a transition here. So lifting the hips, spreading the sit bones, lengthen to the arms. And then gaze goes forward and very slowly we walk. If you want to hop, you can to the front of the mat. And we're going to bring our hands to our shins or our thighs. Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. And then melt into that Uttanasana, forward fold. So first, standing forward fold. Maybe you soften the knees a little bit. Maybe you bring the feet a little bit wider. Whatever it is for you. Maybe you take those opposite elbows and really let that whole shoulder girdle release. Let that neck be long. Crown of head just melt down to the earth. Taking a few breaths there. Breathing in and breathing out. Gentle rock, maybe shifting the weight between the feet, especially if they're wider, right? It should feel nice. Good. 1 more breath here. Take a nice inhale, slide back to that half lift. So thighs or shins. Exhale, Uttanasana. And inhale, Ruta-rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana as we reach through the side body. Take a little bit of a back bend here. And then bring those hands down to your heart space. Back to Anjali Mudra. Take a breath. Really feel all parts of the feet into this mat, into this earth. All corners. And then lift the toes and spread them and then bring them back down onto the earth. Now you really are rooted into this shape, into this Tadasana. Take a nice inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Half lift, lengthen, however you like. And then plant the hands. We're gonna step that right foot back. This is where those blocks can come in. So that right foot back, we're in that lunge. And you're gonna find some nice energy from that heel of foot to crown of head. Kind of engage a little bit that back leg, right? That right leg, those energy up the back. Take a breath. And then from here, bring that right knee down. You can always slide a blanket underneath it or a pillow. And then from here, take a nice inhale. I just want you to lift again. Open up that heart. Perfect. Exhale, just extend that leg. We do this often, this nice little movement. Keep moving. Inhale, we're going to come back. Open up that heart, your rhythm, your breath. And exhale, draw the navel in and reach back as you bow over that left leg. Good. 1 more like that. Inhale, open up that heart. And exhale as you reach back. And then from here, we're going to pause. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. So kind of shimmy around, allowing the hands to come back, or some of you might stay forward if that feels good. But I want you to feel that left sit bone, that left hip drawing back a little bit, and then feel that stretch up the back of the left leg. Not forceful. Revisit that breath. We've got 3 more breaths here. If you want to slide towards a split, you can. Always options. I'm working on those, so I'm kind of playing with that. Wherever you are, 2 more. 1 more. Beautiful. Slide that foot back. If you reached it out in front, bring that foot back onto the earth. Gaze out in front. We're going to slide the hands to the top of that left leg and then lift our chest up. Shoulders over the hips, right? So there's this space to open up the heart, and then tuck the tail just a little bit so you're lifting that pelvic floor. Taking the arms, both arms up to the sky for that inhale, and stay. Exhale, knee down lunge, Anjali Asana. And that exhale, really using the breath to kind of ground you and root you. One more. And that exhale, really nice. From here, we're going to take that right hand. It's going to come down to that block or the earth. Left hand stays up. And we begin to take a little twist here, bringing now that left hand, slip it into your lower back. Good. Open up here. Just explore it. You can always take that right hand a little bit wider. And always let that left knee open up. Again, all different levels. If you really want to go crazy, you can bend that back foot and reach around for it. Yeah? You don't have to. I'm going to release. 2 more breaths. Can you just open up, taking this gentle gaze over that left shoulder. 1 more breath. Nice. And then this back hand begins to sweep up. And then we're going to bring that left knee back in. Hand finds the block of the earth, right? And then from here, you can slide this left foot back or move into a downward dog. So you might slide to child, or you might find a downward dog. Whatever it is, you might find you want to move around in that dog a little bit. I also, because this is all level, offer if you want to come through a flow, you can, sliding to that plank. You can always bring the knees, chest and chin down, lifting to that cobra we found, or maybe an upward dog. Really make this practice yours. That's what this Sunday class is about. Taking everything from the week, maybe that you learned through the classes that you took, and kind of playing with them here. Breathing in and out, so you're either in that Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, or maybe into that child pose. 2 more breaths. Finding the breath today, grounding into the sweetness of the breath. Beautiful gaze goes forward, and this is where we make our way to the front of the mat. So maybe you walk little steps, maybe you hop, find that half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, Uttanasana, well received. And just pause here. So we take this breath again. And we're going to come into this nice stretch here of Pada Pustasana, of taking and wrapping the pointer finger, index finger, and middle finger around the big toes. Take a nice half lift, lengthen, and then melt in. Elbows can start a little bit out to the side, but then draw them in, getting the shoulders down away from the ears and fold forward. Now, if this is too much, of course, just bring a block in and take it a little higher and just breathe into the back of the body. We don't need to judge ourselves. You know I love props, so bring them in, use them. Take the goodness of the practice, move into that, especially on this Sunday. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Now as you release, slide back to that half lift to lengthen, melt back into that Uttanasana, and then Ruta Rise, Urdhva Hastasana, as we reach up to the sky, getting the fingertips up to the sky, maybe a little back bend, but don't overdo. And then hands come back into that Anjali Mudra, back to that heart space as we find Tadasana. Breathing in and breathing out, just pausing there. Shift back. And again. A little better. Good. So from here, moving on, we're going to take a nice inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, and then exhale, soften the knees as you fold forward, Uttanasana. Half lift, lengthening, and then then here, you can bring those blocks in as we step that left foot back, nice and long, finding that lunge, right? You can always bring the knee right down. Again, make this about you. That practice of finding that sweet inner voice, listening to it, right? If your knee is lifted, energize that back leg and let the chest open. Take another breath. If the knee is down as well, let the heart open. Beautiful. Now we all bring that back knee down. Nice. And from here, we're going to just take that nice inhale, kind of lifting towards that cow, feeling again this heart space. And then extend that right leg long as we exhale. So again, that first one kind of settling into it. Inhale, we come forward, heart opens. Yes. And exhale, we extend over that right leg, kind of bowing over it. Beautiful. Inhale, we lift again, heart opens. And exhale, nice long breaths. Good, one more. Foot slides back, heart opens, belly lifts, chest lifts, and then exhale as we slide back. And this is where you really make it yours, right? So shifting a little bit if you're using those blocks, make sure that that right hip kind of rolls back, this left hip rolls to neutral. That'll really kind of keep you in the truth of the pose, meaning you're not kind of forcing, kind of find that sweet spot, that nice kind balance. And again, if you like, you can always slide deeper into it, make it yours. As I said, I'm working on this practice of full Hanumanasana, and just find what's right for you. Taking about 3 more breaths wherever you are. Really focus towards the breath and that kindness. Good. One more breath. Love it. And then slowly sliding that right foot back down onto the earth. And as we bring that right knee kind of over that right ankle, hands slide to the top of the knee and we lift up, finding that nice shoulders over hip, a little tuck of the tail. And for me, I'm gonna actually bring my right foot back a little bit to be a little bit more 90 and 90. Open up the heart and then sweep the arms up on Jani Asana. And then you might lean back in, up to you, right? Again, play with the practice. Take whatever part of it feels sweet and good today. Taking your breath. And again. One more here, I know. Just open up the heart. And then we're gonna move. That left hand's going to come maybe down to the earth or to a block. I have a block there. That right hand reaches up to the sky, a little bit of a twist, and then take this right hand and let it slip into your lower back. And this is where you can really make this yours. You might walk that left hand a little bit wider, letting that right knee kind of roll out a little bit, opening up that chest, gaze over the right shoulder. So all different versions of this. Feel it. Drop into what's good, what's sweet. That inner voice will guide you if you can listen to it. And then maybe you can take that back hand and reach to the foot, getting that kind of juicy quad stretch. But I'm gonna release that and come into that sweeter place for me today. 2 more breaths wherever you are. I'm kind of showing you a big version of this. There's a little flexion into that right foot. Good. 1 more breath. And then that back hand, if you brought it round, comes back down, finding the blocks of the earth. Yeah, so you're either side of that right foot. And we're gonna lift that left knee up, but this time we're gonna walk around and we're gonna come into this nice wide stance. So just play here for a moment. I'm trying to see the best view. I'm having my hands out in front a little bit and just taking a long spine, that sort of energized spine, belly drawing in, and just rocking a little bit back and forth, just to feel that lovely energy in the legs, the spine. Good. 1 more breath like this, little of that movement. And then from here, walk the hands or bring the blocks with you back. Take a nice inhale and then melt forward, yeah? And I really, again, can't stress enough, this is that easygoing class. If you want to take the hands to the outer edges of the feet, you can. If you want to bring the forearms down to the earth, you can, right? Or on blocks. If you even want to take a inversion, you can. Whatever it is for you, just breathe. 5 more breaths. Let the exhales really dip you into the shape, dip you into your body. Two more breaths. Lift a little bit more energy if you've collapsed through the inner thighs into the pelvic floor, really allowing you to kind of drop and let everything waterfall off you. One more breath. Beautiful. And then just soften the knees a little bit, lift the pelvic floor, walk the hands out a little bit so that lengthened spine. And then from here, hands slide to the hip crease if that feels okay, or to the thighs, and begin to lift yourself up. Take your time, eyes open, find that focus. Yeah. Bring the hands to the hips if they're not already. Take a nice inhale. And then draw the elbows towards each other as you exhale. There's that back bend, there's that heart space. One more breath. Beautiful. And then the gaze comes back out. The spine goes back into that neutral. We're going to take that back foot and we're going to curl the toes out, right? So we're coming into this warrior two. See if you can get that right foot a little bit more at 90 degrees, the hips open, and this front knee kind of in line with the toes, please. And then take these arms nice and long. And just take the gaze over that middle finger, right? And just focus right beyond that finger. Open up the shoulders and take your breath. 2 more. Just focus here. 1 more. Good. Now, from here, we're going to take this front leg and we're going to lengthen it. Exhale into it. When you find that exhale, good. Now, back hand, it's going to come down to that back thigh. Front palm's going to turn up, and we're going to reverse triangle. Yeah? So breathing into this front edge of the body. Gaze can be down over that back shoulder or reaching up to that bicep or inner elbow. Really honor your neck. Good. Lift the pelvic floor. Remember, we're reaching over that back leg. We're not leaning into that lower back or lumbar spine. 1 more breath. Let the breath keep you focused and grounded. And then slowly keep those legs, move back to that T of the arms, and then reach forward, kind of reaching to touch out in front of you, and then move into triangle. Slow. Lift the pelvic floor. And really, if you go so low that you're rounding forward at all, this is where if I had you live, I would kind of reach behind and lift and open up your heart. Big stretch into the side of the body. Maybe the gaze is up towards those fingertips. And if that feels too much on the shoulder, just bring that hand down into the lower back. Lift the navel and open up with that. Good. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Perfect. Now, bend that front knee as we move back towards that Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Go ahead, take the arms long, front leg long, but this time turn the toes in. That foot becomes our back foot, and we're going to turn these front toes out. And then melt into that Warrior 2. So finding it for you. The deeper the stance, right, the more you can get that kind of almost levelness onto the top of that front hip, that front thigh, sorry. So again, that becomes your preference today, what you're looking for, if you're kind of trying to really drop deeply into the shape, or if you want to be a little kind of looser about it, that's arms reach to that T. Find that nice energy, fingertip to fingertip. Gaze out over the middle finger. And we're gonna breathe for 2. Nice and focused. Staying for another breath. Beautiful. Now, from here, that back hand slides to that thigh. This front palm turns up. We're gonna lengthen that front leg. Exhale there. And then reverse. Yeah, reverse triangle. Nice big stretch along that front edge of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful, take it. Good, one more breath. And then keep these legs. We're gonna slow, lift the pelvic floor, arms reach back to that T. Gaze out over the front fingers, and then reach them forward, like you're reaching towards out in front of you. And then move slow, triangle pose. And again, you can be much higher. Really just keep the shoulders stacked and heart open. Lifting the belly in and up. Gaze can be up towards the fingertips, or slide that hand into your lower back or waist. And then lift and open. Either way, it's all good. Energize those legs. And again. Building a little bit of heat, you can feel it now. Beautiful, and then moving back to that warrior 2, that front knee bends, nice and focused. And then from here, we're gonna take these hands, we're gonna cartwheel them over that front foot, hands find the blocks or the earth. Yes, roll to the ball of that back foot, and then option, step back to that downward facing dog, pedal it out a little bit, or move into that puppy dog or child's pose. Whatever it is for you. And I'm also gonna offer you're either in that dog, that puppy dog, that child, or you might come through a flow, sliding through to that plank. You might add this on. You might bring the knees down and lower down, or you might lower down halfway or all the way. Lifting cobra or upward facing dog, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhaling back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And again, option to move right into that child, puppy dog, or take a few breaths in the dog. Either way, connect, drop in. Really allowing that breath to guide you, to focus you. Beautiful, one more breath. And then bring the knees down if you're in that downward dog, and slide into that child. So everybody, let your knees come a little bit wider, dip down into it. If you want to support this more, you can put a blanket behind your knees or a block under your forehead. So many options, so many opportunities to just allow yourself to just release and breathe. And just pause here. As you pause, this gives you that time to just revisit the breath, revisit the mind, and revisit any kind of conversation that you may be having, maybe a conversation that you keeps revisiting that has negativity in it. Can you let that go? Remember when we took that Om in the beginning, right? Could you feel that kind of soft vibration and that kind of inner voice that you may have found, actually an outer voice of that Om, and then feel that into your heart. Good, one more breath. And then from here, we're gonna come back up towards that hands and knees and come around to our seat. And this is where you slide that blanket in, right? So that blanket is very helpful. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. So that blanket allows you to sit up. I actually don't have one in the space that I'm in because I didn't bring one here. And just rock a little bit side to side. Beautiful. And you might take the toes, or you might have the hands onto the ankles. I want you to just sit tall here. Nice inhale, getting the muscles of the back working, and with the exhale, let the knees relax and release. Good, 2 more breaths like that. Heart lifts, you can feel that. Good, one more. Love it. Now, from here, we're gonna take these thumbs and we're gonna bring them onto the big toe mounds, yeah, foot mounds, and then take a nice inhale to lengthen and peel open this book. So just take a gaze down, notice where that goes, maybe a little bit more into that inner groin area. Take another breath, and then just begin to fold over this. So elbows might drop down towards the calves or knees. And then just notice that we're going to pause here. That book is open. We're energetically opening it up, feeling this into the inner thighs. A little bit of that lower back, of course. Take another breath. And again. Love it. Now, I want you to take an inhale, close the book. And with the exhale, melt a little deeper. Now you'll feel that outer thighs, outer hips a little bit more. Lower back up the spine. And breathe into the shoulders and neck. And let now, the next breath, the inhale, let the head go and let the sacrum muscles, all those little muscles around the sacrum, let them release. Good. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly just begin to lift up. Really nice. We're going to take and bring this right leg out in front of us. Yeah, toes up to the sky. And then we're going to start by taking this left leg. We're just going to lift it up. So if you can see, I'm going to put it on an angle. Just lifting it up, kind of rock the baby here or rock the Buddha. And sit a little taller. There are those back muscles again. And then bring that left foot down onto the top of the thigh. You're just going to have to sort of find that place that's not directly ankle on femur bone. Take another inhale. And then from here, just exhale over, right? So a little bit of that stretch into the hip, yeah, and up the back of that left leg, but not forced. Little flexion into both feet. Good. Taking 3 more breaths here. Feel the expansion and the release of the breath. 2 more. 1 more. Really nice. And then slowly coming back up. And we're going to take this foot to the inside of that right thigh. That left foot inside. And we're going to take this left arm up to the sky. So again, get that nice stretch. We did this a little earlier. Fingertips just alongside and a little bit behind you. Take another breath. Inhale, draw the navel in, and take this left hand across to the outside of that right leg. Yeah, maybe you cup around the foot, maybe you're on the calf or thigh. And then take this right hand, sweep it around, and exhale into this nice Janu Sirsasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Lengthening the spine, melting over that right leg. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then slowly draw the belly in, just rolling yourself up. Take your time. And then coming to the other side. So we're going to take that left leg. It's going to go out in front. Yeah, some energy through the leg, toes to the sky. And then this right leg, we're just going to lift it up. And a nice little kind of rocking, slow. I'm probably going even a little too fast. Kind of rock the Buddha, a little bit of that. You can also take and do that. Nice. Ooh, that feels good. But I'm a little warm, right? This weather, so these muscles are kind of like, yes, please. And then bring this right ankle down over that left leg. And again, you just have to find that sweet spot that's not directly bone on bone. Take a nice inhale. You can also slide a blanket underneath there too. And then exhale, just walk out a little bit. So it can be really high. You can stay a little higher if you feel this directly and right off into the hip. You can also walk out a little bit more. Try not to land behind that left knee, but feel the whole back of the body. 2 more breaths. Really nice. And then slowly we're gonna come back up. Bring that right foot to the inside of that left leg. Good. That right arm reaches for the sky. Left fingertips down alongside your left hip. Take a nice inhale and then cross over, coming to the outside either of that left foot, calf, or thigh. Yeah, take a breath. And then bring that left hand round and exhale. Janusirsasana. 2. Take another breath. 1. Draw the belly in and begin to roll yourself up. And guess what? This is where we come down onto our mats, onto our backs. However you like to get there. Should feel good when you arrive. Just draw these knees in, rock that lower back. Nice massage there. Long spine. Good. And then from here, we're going to slide these soles of the feet down into the earth. Ankles underneath the knees, palms down. We're just going to take a nice lift here, peeling into that bridge pose. Knees reach forward, inner thighs activate, heart opens. Find a little bit of that shape we found earlier. Fingertips can dip down into the earth and begin to lift a little bit more, right? Feel the whole expansion into the front of the body, into the hips. Nice kind of openness into that body. 1 more breath. And then slowly lower down. Should feel good. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to take into a twist. I'm going to give a couple of different levels. You can take these knees and dip them over to the left, or you can draw the knees in, taking it a little deeper over to the left, or you can take this right knee leg over the left, like rooted twist, and come into the twist that way. Let the chest open up. And again, here's an opportunity to slide a prop underneath those knees if you like it. We'll just take a few breaths here. And nuzzle around, love around that hip and heart space a little bit. Notice if you're just gripping still, or maybe then you slide a blanket under the left knee. Maybe you slide a block under, and so you don't take that twist so deeply that takes you out of that heart opening, that heart space. Find that sweet balance. I'm taking 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Love it. And then we're going to come out of it. Knees come through center. You're going to hug them back into your chest. If your legs are crossed, you're going to uncross them. Switch the cross if that's what you did. And then move to the other side, taking the knees over to the right, finding that twist that way. And remember that yumminess of bringing a block underneath the knees. Whatever you need, so that you can find that openness of the heart space. Beautiful. Take your breath. 1 more breath. Actually, 2 more. I'm a little rushed because my teacher, my Prabhu, wants to come in here and teach. He does a podcast in here. So I'm feeling a little like I don't want to let him down. So just taking another breath here. Good. And then slowly bringing the knees back into your chest, giving them a hug. Good. And we're going to take these legs, extend them long. Just taking a brief pause here as you let the feet come wide. Knees roll out, hips open, heart opens. Take a breath. Exhale out. And again. Exhale, make some noise. And just pause into that Shavasana. Right, let yourself be, let yourself go. And just notice, yes, that movement, some deep stretching today, that focus into a little bit of that love and kindness, that inner voice, how we speak to ourselves. Can we shift that energy, right? This practice of shifting, of changing. Let go into the goodness. Notice where you can release, right? Drop into that beautiful earth. Just let yourself be here. And then very slowly, please know you can stay right where you are, right? And just take a little bit longer in that Shavasana. You can also bring the legs up to the sky and get that inversion in there at the end. Whatever feels right to you today. For me, I'm gonna come up to my seat, finding that beautiful seat, that length into the spine, pausing, just noticing how you feel when you arrive. And then bringing these palms together, Anjali Mudra at your heart space, bowing into that. Taking a nice inhale, lift your head. Exhale out through the mouth. And find that beautiful inner voice and let it come out of you. As we bow to that beauty that lives inside of you, inside of me. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis. Thank you, thank you. From this beautiful farm, I am grateful to be here and grateful to my teachers. Namaste.